Hello, this is a video about how to find the derivative of f of x is equal to 1 over square root of x, and we will derive this derivative using the definition of the derivative. So let's dig in. The function is f of x is equal to 1 over square root of x, and the definition of the derivative is limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So f of x plus h simply means that in the function we will replace x by x plus h. So there's my substitution. I've replaced x by x plus h, and in the second part I just put the function as it is and then divide that by h. Now the issue here is I can't directly substitute h is equal to 0, otherwise I would have to divide by 0, and that is something that we can't do. So we have to come around and get to a point where we are not dividing by 0. So let's see how do we do that. So first thing I want you to notice here is that in the numerator itself there are two fractions which are being subtracted, and in order to subtract the two fractions I have to make sure that I have the same denominator. So what I will do is I will multiply 1 over square root of x plus h by square root of x, and I will also divide it by square root of x. And in the same way I will take 1 over square root of x and I will multiply it with the fraction in which both the numerator and denominator will be square root of x plus h. So there I have shown that for you. Second thing I've done here is I have written h as h over 1 because any real number can be changed into a fraction by writing it as that real number divided by 1. So now since I have the same denominators for the two fractions in the numerator, I can combine them. So I just combine those two. So 1 times square root of x is square root of x, and 1 times square root of x plus h is square root of x plus h. And now the next thing I'm going to do is try to change this division with a fraction into a multiplication. So we have this fraction being divided by another fraction, and that changes into a multiplication with the reciprocal of h. So I'm multiplying it by 1 over h. So the second fraction here I have 1 over h. The numerator is just 1. So when you multiply square root of x minus the square root of x plus h with 1, it remains just as it is, and the h simply gets multiplied by the denominator. So here's the simplification. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to somehow see if we can eliminate h from the denominator. One of the techniques that's used to do that is called rationalization. And in rationalization, what I do is I take a rational expression in the numerator and I'm going to multiply and divide with its conjugate. So I have square root of x minus square root of x plus h. So what I did there is I multiplied with the fraction for which both the numerator and denominator are square root of x plus square root of x plus h. So this will eliminate the radical signs in the numerator. Now this is of the form a minus b times a plus b. So let's see how do we simplify that. So we got a minus b times a plus b is a squared minus b squared. In this expression, if I say a is square root of x and b is square root of x plus h, then I have square root of x minus the square root of x plus h times square root of x plus square root of x plus h. So that would be equal to square of square root of x minus the square of square root of x plus h. And square of square root leaves me just with that expression. So that becomes x minus h. And on simplification, that gives me negative h. So what that means then is that in my derivative, the numerator simplifies to just negative h. And this negative h in the numerator will be divided by the h in the denominator, giving me just a negative 1. So here I executed that. So negative h divided by h gives me 1. And now if I substitute h is equal to 0, then I would not be dividing by 0 at all. So this is the point where I can actually substitute h is equal to 0. And when I do that, I get f prime of x is equal to -1 over x times the square root of x plus square root of x times x. Well, x times square root of x and square root of x times x, they both mean the same thing. So I can combine them, and then I can finally write my derivative as -1 over 2 times x square root of x. So there's the derivative of 1 over square root of x. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit the like button. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell icon as well, so you can receive notification of all new videos. We provide in-person and online tutoring in all subjects. If you are in need of tutoring, please write us an email at info@sageeducational.com. Also, if you'd like to see a video created on a particular topic, just write us an email. And if there's a question for which you would like to see a video solution created, send us that question through email as well. So again, I hope that you like this video and you learned something from it.